Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday or Tears Day, June 25th. Or I wish. I wish I was more done than I am. It's actually June 15th. I don't know why I went to 20s. Um, I have it as 15 over here. My brain has been, well, let's just say, a bit wonky, off kilter, however you want to put it. Um, I originally woke up at 10 o'clock, but because I had a extreme headache, I decided to take some medication for my headache. Basically, I took some medication for my headache and some pseudoephedrine because it felt like a migraine of sorts. Um, I can't take Midol or anything like that because there are certain chemical elements within Midol and Bear and regular aspirin. The aspartame factor of that medication um, does not always agree with me. So I don't always like taking that medication because it makes things a little bit more worse. It might make the headache go away, but then it makes the tummy go rumble, rumble. Do not feel like dealing with stomach problems right now because I've got too much to deal with. The Advil and pseudoephedrine works great. I had to give it some time to kick in. Um, so I ended up going back to sleep until 11. So it's 12 o'clock because it's taken that long to get up, get food, get coffee and everything set up, and get Jerry Ann set up and help her out with what she needed, and look at my YouTube. And I only have one extra comment this morning that I love because um, basically the person asked a bunch of questions, and sometimes in order to get to know people a little bit better, you have to ask them certain kinds of questions. Now, certain kinds of questions that I've had a couple of them come across, and I just went, no. It's either too personal or just seemed a little too awkward for me to deal with. So yeah, I mean, I love doing Q&A. That's what today is going to be, is Q&A day. I was going to talk about some more of the American Cozy, which might be a separate video, depending on how long this video goes. Um, but I know a lot of my American Cozy videos are almost an hour long, and I don't want to. It's a combination of I don't want to do that because they become too long, and a lot of people just don't want to watch them, or a lot of things get lost in translation. So we're gonna do these questions. Now, I'm not going to tell the person. I'm not going to say the person's name anymore. Well, yeah, I'll tell the person's name. But what I want to say before I say the person's name is anybody can ask me. She's asking me 10 questions. Anybody can ask me, 10 questions, and I'm more than willing to answer them as long as I feel like they're not too personal or invasive or yeah, anything that I might consider personal. But Nelly, once again, I do believe Nelly this is the second time she's done this in 2 weeks, maybe. I don't remember the last time she did it. I'd have to go back. But Nelly asked me, how did I come up with the name of my channel? Well, I had to ask Jerry. I had to ask Jerry Ann that question because it's like, I know when most people look up my name, they'll find the channel because I didn't come up with some quirky, fun-loving type of name for the channel. I just said, I'm just use my name as the name of the channel. But if you're talking about like the intro thumbnail, it says Jim's Mind, hang on, hang on for the ride or whatever. My nickname when I was growing up was Jimmy, and my father was Jim. And then after my father passed away, I just started using Jim as my intro name, or the name that I prefer to be called, because just family tradition. I don't give out my full name. The only time I put my full name on anything is if it's a official documentation for the government, for the hospital, for school, for job, things of that nature. So I only use my first and last name. The second thing she asked is, what got me started? What basically prompted me to start my own channel? Well, it was a combination of, my household is a very dynamic household. My wife likes doing crafting and DIY and things of that nature. I'm more of a, I don't want to call myself a scholar because a lot of people think scholar, Bible scholar. A famous musician, I do believe it was Chris Christopherson, calls himself a road scholar. Basically, he learned a lot of things on the road, doing concerts and traveling around and things of that nature. But what basically prompted me to start my channel is I felt that, maybe combination of therapeutic, pass along some of my knowledge and some of my experience. Just, like I watched various different people on YouTube before I started my channel. Thanks to Jerry getting interested in YouTube. I don't even know how she got interested in YouTube or what got her started on her channel. But I saw various people talk about their life, their experiences, things of that nature. And I went, well, I could talk about my life and my experiences because, growing up in the military, being in Germany for 3 years, my issues with learning disability, my issues with ADD, my evolving from just being a simple, humble person, not knowing my ancestral background or whatnot, to somebody who's literally full diving into ancestral background and things of that nature. So that's kind of what got me prompted into, into doing YouTube. I forgot to put my morning lotion and whatnot on my eyes because I have dry skin. Sometimes get watery, and maybe it's allergies today. I don't know. I know my allergies have been acting up lately. Number 3, she asks what my favorite color is. So maybe it wasn't Nelly who asked me these questions last time, because I could have swore that was one of the questions from the last questions. But my favorite color, if I have to pick one color, it's going to be red. And I don't mean just regular red. I mean all the shades of red, from the darkest to the lightest shade of red. If I was going to choose more than one color, the German flag, which is red, black, and gold, those 3 colors right there have a lot of meaning to me, not just because of the 3 years in Germany during my early preteens, 8, 9. Well, hold on, let me think. Got there in 80, so I was 9 when we got to Germany. No, I was 8 when we got to Germany, turned 9. So 8, 9, 10, and right after my 11th birthday, we were in Germany for 3 years. I know I just said 4, but because we went to Germany we got to Germany in January of 80, and we left in December, right before the Christmas holidays of 83. So, born in 71, so I turned 10 in 81, 11 in 83, right before we left. So yeah, so 8, 9, and 10, basically. Excuse me. Anyhow, but yeah, I have a lot of different colors that are my favorite, but if I had to choose one favorite color, it would be red. A lot of people would associate a lot of negative attitude or negative emotions or just being negative with red because red, I don't know if you know this, in most countries, in most countries that have red in their flag usually represents the blood spilt for the independence of that nation. Like in America, red is basically for all the lives that were basically forfeited or died in service of this country to make this country what it is. Same thing for Germany. Germany had before World War One, Germany already had red and gold and black in their colors. But the thing was in Germany is red does not represent blood, for the blood spilt for the nation. Red and gold are two different colors for two different major royal families of Germany back before the Prussian War. Black represents the Black Forest of Germany. A little bit of history right there. But yeah, my favorite color would be red. My favorite movie. Oof. Do I have to choose one? There are so many that I love. I mean, between my childhood days watching movies and TV with Dad, it would be Rio Bravo, Rio Grande, El Diablo. No, El Dorado, not El Diablo. El Dorado, Flying Leathernecks. Modern day movies that I really enjoy would be like The Matrix, John Wick. Of course, then there's the animated movies that I like, the Disney movies like Frozen, Frozen 2, Moana. A lot of films that have a lot of culture in it. Which brings me to favorite actors, or actor. She only said one. Well, if you listen to the movies, you realize that John Wayne and, I can't remember his name now. Darn it. Keanu Reeves. Those would be my two favorite actors. Old school, new school. Actresses. Yeah. There's a lot of different good actresses out there that I like. Everything from, I can't remember names. I'm bad with names. I can see faces, but I can't remember names. The one actress that was always with John Wayne in those movies, she played the Irish lady from The Quiet Man, which was, I love that movie. Then there's like, Goldie Hawn was one of my favorite actresses. God, like I said, I can see faces, I just can't remember names. I'm really bad at that. And I know a lot of people are like, well, if you can't remember the name, then it can't be a favorite actress. Well, yeah. I don't know the two actors from the three actors from the Viking movie the Viking series I like. The one actor who played Ragnar Lothbrok, the other actor that played Bjorn Ironside, and the actor who played Floki. And then there's the actresses from the movie, from that TV series that I can't remember. Especially the actress that plays Lagatha. Let's see here. So yeah, like I said, I can see faces, but I can't remember their names. I just remember their character's name. What's her face from Miss Congeniality, and the actress from, I can't remember names or movies now. I got befuddled. I'm sorry. Got befuddled because I didn't really take time to do the research, because I was like, off the top of my head, just get it off the top of your head. Unfortunately, when it comes to actresses, kind of hard to do. Oh, Halle Berry. She was a great actress in the Bond movie, the one or two Bond movies she was in. She was a great actress in the X-Men series. Drew Barrymore. I liked her in a couple of different movies she was in. So it's kind of hard to pick one when there's so many really good actors and actresses. I mean, like Sean Connery. I mean, look at all the movies he was in. He a big star. I mean, Bond movies. He played Bond. He played a lot of James Bond movies. He did the father in Indiana Jones, Hunt for Red October, um, Highlander. Really good movies. Next one, number 7 is favorite dog breed. I've had a couple different dogs. Most of them were mutts, especially the one I remember, Nutella. He was a mutt. Nutella was a German Shepherd, Wild Hair Terrier, Husky mixed breed, and possible Chihuahua. Not sure. But we definitely know he was Wild Hair Terrier with German Shepherd and Husky. He had the blue eyes and the curly tail of a Husky. He had the pigmentation and the molds on the different molds on that German Shepherds get on their jawline. But he had the color of the German Shepherd and the snout of the German Shepherd. But he, size-wise, was medium size. His attitude and energy was that of a Wild Hair Terrier. Ornery little guy, but he was a good dog. He caused a lot of trouble. And I can tell you some interesting stories about that little mutt. But if I were to have to choose one particular dog breed, I'd be Husky. Reason for Husky is because certain breeds of Husky or certain kinds of Husky, and there's the American Husky, there's the Siberian Husky, and there's another breed of Husky. I can't remember the name of it. But the Siberian Huskies especially can get that dark colorization in their coat and the look when you look straight at them. That it's like, is that a Husky or is that a wolf? So yeah, I mean, out of all the dogs I can own, Huskies probably come to the closest in pigmentation or colorization of our coat to look like a wolf. The one thing is, a lot of Huskies are blue-eyed with curled tails, but they're beautiful. Number 8 was would I, or it's kind of a combination of would I or if I ever go on a cruise, where would I go? That is an interesting question. I will tell you the one place I would never, ever, ever go on a cruise is the Bahamas or anywhere near the Bahamas. Storms can pop up at any time. And there's nothing, I wouldn't want to go to the Bahamas because it's too hot, too muggy. I'm not a person who likes humidity. I'm definitely not a humidity person. Why do you think I have equipment running year-round to remove the bulk of the moisture of the air unless it's something I need? Like, I have a machine in my room. I have 2 machines in my room. One is an air filtration fan type system. It's the Dyson that was originally in the living room until we got the current one, the new one. It's in my room to purify the air and keep the air cool. But then I also have a machine that is cold air mist, or a cold air humidifier, but it does not make the room hot and sticky. So I can handle the cool, humid type of air that's not hot and sticky. It does not make me feel like I'm in an Amazonian shower of some sort. So the places I would go would be like either the Alaskan cruise lines or the Norwegian cruise lines that take you throughout the one that I looked at that cost me way too much money just for one person would take you from like northern Canada, Nova Scotia, so you'd have to find your way to get to port up there, across past Greenland, to Iceland, and then down towards Norway, and then you get dropped off in Norway, and then you have to take a plane flight or rebook or do a two-way cruise, basically. So yeah. But Iceland, or not Iceland, Alaska, the reason why I want to take the Alaskan cruise line is part of the you'd leave Seattle, Washington, you'd take the cruise up to Anchorage or Juneau, one of those coastal, it's not Anchorage, or is it Anchorage? It's one of the coastal cities in Alaska, and part of the cruise is you get to take a boat ride to go see whales, or take a smaller boat to go up towards the where the ice shelves are, where the you can literally watch the ice break away from the main shelf and whatnot. It was, from the videos I've seen, an interesting cruise. So yeah, but I definitely would not take a cruise anywhere near the Bahamas. Two reasons why. One, it'd be my luck. We'd have to turn around halfway through and have a tornado or a hurricane chase us back up to New York, just like it did to my sister, which caused Hurricane Sandy. I know that's a once in a million, once 100-year type storm. But my other paranoia is we'd get too close to the Bermuda Triangle and get lost. But that's just my paranoia. Number 9 in her questions is she wanted to see our baby tree. So I took a snapshot from my porch, tried to zoom in as close as I could. So hopefully it's a good picture. So that picture will be at the end of this video. Or at least at the end of the segment. Yeah, at the end of this video. Number 10. Camping. If and when I got the chance to go camping, or if I go camping, where would I like to go? Well, that's an interesting question. Because we've been looking at different camper trailers. Now, right now, we don't think we can afford it for a while, because the cheapest one that we saw was like anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000. Now, that's for an inexpensive, short, small one where there's no restroom, there's no toilet, there's an exterior shower. You can buy and set up your own personal little outhouse with what they call a cassette porta potty. But for the most part, like the one that I saw, I was trying to figure out a way to get a copy of the video to put it on here. But it's a specialized Outback trailer you can buy here in America. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was called no, it wasn't an E-Pod. It was something else. I can't remember what it was. But on the outside, it had a drawer that you pulled out, and it was your refrigerator sink area. And it had like so many BTUs to keep everything cool. And when it was slid in, there was a way to get into it from the inside of the camper to grab a cool drink. The other slide out was an outside kitchen. Basically, it had your two-burner oven and our two-burner grill and another outside type kitchen piece. I don't remember if it was the sink that was on that side next to the grill or just a prep area. But it looked pretty cool. The inside had basically an area where you can comfortably sit, and then when you weren't sitting there, you can collapse it and make it into a queen-size bed. Now, most of the trailers and campers that we saw that we were interested in had either queen or twin. Now, we've slept on a twin, and it was very uncomfortable. We were literally on top of each other. Queen was a little bit better, but still had very little wiggle room. The only way you're going to get a king-size bed in a camper is if you buy one of these big, heavy-duty, luxury type campers, like in Class A camper, which is like the big bus. One of those big buses, I took a look at one of the cheapest ones they had on the market. Yeah, almost $250,000. And I went, nope, that's a whole house. That's something you want to buy to live in 24/7, 365. We're not looking into that right now. We want to use this house as base camp. In other words, if we get a camper trailer type thing, it would be to go visit friends and family and not have to worry about a place to stay. It would not be a permanent live-in situation. It would be just a means of getting away from here to go explore the country or visit family. So to answer that last question would be, it would depend on the equipment we had and what we plan on doing in a certain area. So it's like, if I had a choice, if I had if I had the equipment I wanted, and right now my wants are simple. I just would like to get a trailer or some sort of small camper that I can pull behind the minivan. So it has to have no more than 2,800 pounds worth of towing weight. I know our vehicle has max capacity weight, and then I think it even has a tow weight, and I can't remember what the tow weight was. But I think maximum van and towing, maximum weight would have to be less than 3,000 pounds, I think. I have to double check that tag. I did look at that tag and I went, oh, okay. Okay. But most of the campers I've looked at were lightweight, durable but lightweight. Didn't have a lot of extra amenities, like it did not. Most of them did not have bathrooms. They had hookups for solar panels if they weren't already rigged for solar panels. They had hookup for your city water, your electrical power. Did not have any of the basically what made them lightweight is they didn't have the extra weight of water. It did not have a water intake or anything like that I can remember, because none of them really, I mean, it had, no, the one I was looking at that I really liked, it had jerry cans that came with it, plus a propane tank and battery units and whatnot, plus solar energy on top of the roof. And like I said, it had two pull-out drawers for your outdoor kitchen. The interior had like a bench seat with a tabletop so you can have food in there. And then the tabletop collapsed to make a queen size bed. Did not have well, it did have what they call a cassette bathroom, a cassette porta potty with a special awning that you pull out and it turns into your outdoor bathroom shower type thing. So you could take the cassette toilet out there, do your business, have a shower, the whole 9 yards. The only thing is you'd have to either wear Crocs or flip flops or something like that to keep your feet from getting overly muddy from the outdoor shower. A lot of camping places, I keep on talking about the trailer, not where my destination is. Anyhow, if I had the trailer that I was looking at the other day, I love to go see some of the national parks. I have never seen Mount Rushmore. I have not really seen the Grand Tetons. I've seen Yellowstone National Park. So my thing is I'd love to be able to take like a couple weeks or something like that and go up to Yellowstone National Park and go camping and go be inside the park. The downside about Yellowstone National Park is the bears. Most animals will stay away from human campgrounds. Bears, no. They are considered an apex predator. So if they smell food and there's no people guarding the food, or the bear is extremely hungry, the bear will try to get into the food source. So you have to basically, when you're not at your campsite, make sure your food is locked up. So my only concern with going camping in Yellowstone or any other wilderness location near bear territory would be the bears, especially up in the Northwest, because most of the black bears down here, you can easily scare them off. The brown bears, which are considered grizzly bears up in the Northwest, not so easily scared off. They get a scent of food and they're hungry. Yeah, no. That's why if you go camping in bear country, either make sure your food is airtight so the bears can't smell it. You keep your campground clean of debris and garbage so the bears don't get into it. Or one of the tricks that I learned in Yellowstone National Park by going through bear training is if you have a lockbox, a heavy duty lockbox. And sometimes, especially in Yellowstone National Park, Yellowstone usually provides a lockbox near the campsite. You can put all your food stuff in that lockbox, lock it up, and not have to worry about it because they've made it bear proof. It's heavy duty material. Or the other thing is to take your cooler, put rope on through the handles, and then like a big heavy duty rope over a strong limb. Bring that food up, a good 10 feet up in the air. Tie the rope down so the rope can't, so it doesn't come falling down. And hope the bear is not smart enough to go, oh, if I pull on this rope, either A, the branch is going to break or the rope is going to break and I'm going to get to the food anyhow. So, yeah. But I have a lot of different places I like to go camping. I mean, locally, there's a lot of different local campgrounds near the lakes and rivers and whatnot. If I have the camper that I was, the trailer, the camp trailer I was looking at, it has an air conditioning unit, so we can go down to Texas. Of course, I wouldn't want to go down in the Southwest or anything like that unless it was early spring or late fall. Might have to drive home in the snow or something like that, but that's the coolest time of the year. Or in the winter, well, actually no, because Dre-Ann and I had talked that if we had like an actual camper, like a Class C camper, and you can look up that information. They're the box truck looking campers. We can go down southwest anytime during the wintertime, or anytime during the year, because the campers are usually have their air conditioning and whatnot. But I wouldn't want to go down there during the summertime and overload the AC unit. But yeah. Anyhow, a little over 30 minutes. That's not too bad. But that's today's Q&A from Nelly. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, or you have questions of your own, I've tried to tell you guys, you can ask me all the questions you want. In fact, a lot of times if there are questions that I feel that I can use for a video, like Nelly gave me 10 questions, I will answer them as long as they don't seem too personal or getting too, I don't want to say nosy, because some people might think that Nelly's questions were nosy. They're not. They're just simple, trying to get to know the person type questions. I will not give out my location or my home. And one of the reasons why I have not done a video outside of my home is there are too many negative people out there who might take it upon themselves to be foolhardy enough to vandalize my house, which ill-advised. I have some good neighbors who keep a lookout for suspicious people. I'm one of those neighbors. We don't have an actual neighborhood watch, but my house does have, it sounds awfully big, 1 or 2 cameras. Mostly for just seeing who's at my front door or watching nature. Unfortunately, my birdies did not come back to roost. I think I have to clean out that box, so they'll come back and rebuild the nest, unless they decided after nesting last year that there's just too much activity in that region. One of my favorite activities on Facebook, especially this time of year, is there's a number of different people who live in various different locations who have what they call camera nest box. Basically, they're nest boxes with cameras in them, so they can watch the process of nature being nature without interrupting life. And most of them are like owls or hawks or falcons of one form or another that like nesting in boxes. Eagles, osprey, and a variety of other raptors prefer open air nests in big trees. So it's kind of hard to do a nest box in our camera looking down at an eagle's nest or an osprey's nest because of the height and whatnot. But I enjoy seeing my birdies. The one bird that I have issues with is starlings. Not because of the fact that they're mean little scavengers, but they make a lot of trouble for other birds. But I do have one of the columns outside of my house on the carport that holds up the carport has, I guess because the brickwork they did around the actual column to make it look like something other than just a pillar, has an opening at the end. So the roof and the brickwork are like this. So there's a little bit of a gap. I have a starling nest up there, and as much as I don't like starlings, I don't try to disrupt their life unless they're being rude at the feeding station. But now that it's that time of year where most birds are hatchlings and whatnot, I go out there to put my trash cans out and whatnot. In fact, I got to bring them in today. Because of the noise I make, they think it's mom or dad coming to feed them, and they start squawking and whatnot. And I can't see them yet because the only time I do see them popping their little heads out is when they're old enough to get close to that stage of growth that they're trying to come out of the nest so they can learn how to fly. And that's when I see their heads bobbing up and down sometimes. Last year, when I went out there one day to take out trash, I saw their heads come up, and as soon as they realized it wasn't a parent, they ducked right back down, except for one, like, just kept his head high enough to see what was going on. It was quite cute. I loved it. And then when they get old enough to fly, to see them going from their nesting site over to the big tree, where there's coverage, is kind of cute because it's like they're trying to learn how to do their thing. Now, there's been once or twice I saw what I call fledgling birds, learning how to do their thing on the ground, and I didn't see them at first until I heard a noise, and I realized that one of the little guys that was in my nest box last year was hiding underneath a bush, and I guess he wasn't strong enough to get a lot of lift from a low location. He can get enough lift to move from one location to another without running. And I can hear the mom calling for the chicks around the corner of my house. And it was a nice thing to see. Unfortunately, they did come back to the nest box at nighttime after a lesson or two of flight. But it was cute to watch them through the camera trying to get from the bush to the baker's rack up the next level until they got to the spot where my little gnome garden house was. So it was cute to watch them via camera, and sometimes I would look out the window and mom wouldn't take off because mom and dad got to the point and was like, okay, he's at the window, but he's not going to come outside. He's safe. So I'm wondering if me doing that too often causes them to say, no, we can't nest here again because me being me. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead. Sorry, I went off again. Just thinking about some of these questions and things and whatnot just kind of got my brain going. Anyhow, this will be the final sign off. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, and I love questions, go ahead and put them in the comment box. It helps you get to know me a little bit better, and it's fun. It's fun. And if you're new to my channel, there's a little subscription box floating around. You can click on the you can click on the subscription box, and a little bell will pop up, and you click on that bell, and when you do that, YouTube will notify you upon my next video. Until next time, have a good day. Enjoy. Bye.